Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel for another Legacy video. Today, I'm very excited to go after this one because it's an exciting new deck with an exciting new card built by one of my favorite deck builders. This is Pokemoki's Esper Yorion Displacer Kitten Combo Control. Okay, what's going on here? Let's break down all the words I just said. First of all, Pokemoki, big fan of the channel, meaning the channel is a fan of him. I believe he's also a fan of the channel. Good working relationship with Pokemoki. He is the mind that originally brought you Darkband, and before that, Pokepile, the completely busted Uro, Dreadhorde Arcanus, Oko deck that he was a constant trophy leader with. And as soon as Displacer Kitten was spoiled, about a month ago, maybe it was shorter than that, time doesn't make sense anymore, but whenever the first time the public laid eyes on Displacer Kitten, he was in my DMs like, I'm going to build a deck and I want you to play it as soon as this is available. Well, it's available now. It's here. And a couple different drafts of this deck came through my DMs. I offered a little bit of suggestions and tuning on the fringes, but this is like 99.9% Pokemoki's brew. Displacer Kitten, 3 and a blue, cat beast creature. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to one target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. That means you can use your Brainstorm to protect your creatures from removal, right? That's what we're going to do with this, right? Padme Amidala meme, right? That's all we're doing? Anakin Skywalker, absolutely not. Okay, that is a thing that exists in the deck. If you deploy your Displacer Kitten and you have Daze in your hand, your opponent cannot kill your Displacer Kitten with a single removal spell, whether they can pay for Daze or not, because you pick up your island in response to their removal spell. You target Kitten with its own ability, and it flickers in and out of play. Whether they pay for Daze or not doesn't matter. And if you hold up a Brainstorm or a Swords to Plowshares or whatever, you can protect it more and more. Or if you just have Baleful Strix in play with Kitten, you cast Brainstorm, you flicker Strix first, get to draw one extra card, and then you Brainstorm. It's like Dragon's Rage Channeler Surveil, but you just draw a card instead of get card selection. And we've seen how good that is when tacked onto cantrips. All of that is just kind of in this control shell, hiding the fact that we're also have a GG combo that can happen as soon as turn 3. Because Teferi Time Raveler with Displacer Kitten and any 0-cost artifact, or any 0-cost permanent really, but most of those are artifacts. I think they're all artifacts. Or else they wouldn't cost 0, because that's how the rules of Magic work. Any 0-cost artifact is drawing your whole deck, or as many cards as you want, because you have Teferi in play and Kitten. You minus Teferi to draw a card, or maybe you minused it when you played it on turn 3 and now it has low loyalty and you cast your cat on turn 4. And because Teferi's static ability is always active, your opponent can't really disrupt this except with something like Otawara. But you play your Mishra's Bauble, Displacer Kitten flickers Teferi, which resets his loyalty, and the game sees a new Teferi in play, so it can use its ability again. You minus Teferi to bounce the Mishra's Bauble. Now that's back in your hand, and you drew a card because of Teferi's minus. Then you replay the Bauble, flicker the Teferi again, and you can do this as many times as you want. And the deck has just kind of tucked into it gently a single Mox Amber and a single Thassa's Oracle. Once you're drawing through your deck, Teferi is a legendary permanent. So you can tap Mox Amber for blue or white. Once you find the Mox, you cast it, flicker Teferi, tap it for a blue, bounce it, draw a card, do it again. Now you have blue and or white mana equal to the number of cards in your deck. Like, you don't have infinite mana because Teferi will eventually deck you, but as long as the Mox Amber isn't the last card in your deck, you will end up with 2 blue mana to cast the Thassa's Oracle that you're also guaranteed to find because you can draw as many cards as you want. This is a 2-card combo that you are deterministic to find if you get your engine online, tucked into this 80-card, perfectly reasonable Esper control deck besides. There's also 1 Animate Dead. This is a delightful little value thing. You can use it to rebuy a kitten that's been destroyed or countered. You can use it to rebuy Solitude. And then if you were to flicker the Animate Dead, the creature that it's on will go away, and then you can pick a different one. Like, you can flicker Animate Dead off of Monastery Mentor onto Solitude, and you got a monk on the way through, then you get to remove something, then you can flicker onto something else. It's a sweet little value engine tucked in and redundancy on your kitten. And like I said, all of this is just in this Esper control deck. You have Monastery Mentor. This is a 1-of, and the reason for that is it doesn't quite win the game the way Thassa's Oracle does, but if for some reason Oracle's not going to work, or it's been exiled already, or got removed from your deck somehow, or you don't have black to Animate Dead it on your combo turn because Mox Amber only makes white or blue, like, there's reasons where Oracle wouldn't work. You can find your 1 Mentor instead and cast that, and then just pass the turn with zillions of monks in play and a handful of counterspells. You can sculpt your hand to just be like 4 counterspells and 2 dazes and some other card to cast, and just have a lethal number of monks in play for the following turn. Plus, of course, we just have the blue soup win condition of Baleful Strix, nickel and diming opponents. Displacer Kitten is just a 2/2 if you end up in a fair situation. 4 Narset, 4 Teferi, 1 Wandering Emperor. This is a core of the Jeskai deck that has proven to be very good all on its own. And Savine's Reclamation is here. This is another way to recur Oracle or Monastery Mentor or Baleful Strix or Animate Dead from your graveyard, because Mox Amber can make white and can cast Savine's Rec. So you can just get a bunch of permanents into play. Just really smart deck building here all around. I'm excited to do this. The sideboard is mostly just cards you'd expect in an Esper deck. The exciting one is Nightclubber. When it enters the battlefield, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Obviously, this card is super dope to blink ever. With Displacer Kitten, you can just sort of machine gun a board. You can hardlock a creature opponent with a couple of spells. If you get a Nightclubber into play with Kitten and like Daze and Swords to Plowshares in your hand, they're probably never sticking another creature. Really cool tech there. And it can be tutored with the Recruiter of the Guard, which you can also flicker to search your deck for Baleful Strixes or Monastery Mentors. Unfortunately, Recruiter can't get Oracle, but it shouldn't really need to. That's not how this deck is really set up to function. It can get Solitude, can get Kitten. Everything is working in the direction of doing cat stuff. I feel like in my excitement, I over-explained this deck. This deck tech's probably 2.5 minutes longer than it needed to be. I'm just going to cut it off here. Very excited to try this. Let's jump into it. I'm on the draw in game number 1, and this is a lot of lands and not a lot of interaction. I'm going to keep it, though. If they're a fair deck, this hand's fine. If they're a combo deck, we're dead. I'm willing to roll those dice. Okay, drew another land to kick us off here. I'm going to lead on Tundra and pass. If they have Wasteland, I would love to spend a couple turns just like exchanging Wastelands without actually advancing the game state, because I have more lands in my hand than decks are allowed to play Wastelands. Slow this down, let me have chances to do other stuff, but Wasteland decks don't usually start on Snow-Covered Island Go, and then Brainstorm in the end step. This feels like a combo deck. Oh, Prismatic Vista is usually not in combo decks. Maybe it's a Stoneforge Mystic deck. I'm trying to figure out who would brainstorm in the end step as a fair blue deck. Like what the incentives are to do that. All right, bringing Strixie back. Not ready to plow that yet. Uh-oh. This is so many plows. Yeah, the cool thing about this deck having a combo line in it is that normally in a grindy Yorion deck, I'd be like, oh man, this Baleful Strix might actually deal like 14 to me. I need to respect it a little bit. But having a combo kind of changes the deal on that a little bit. Like I can be at 1 and just win the game. The second Strix is a problem. And a Ponder. All right, they have seen and selected a lot more cards than me this game so far. Gonna have to catch up on that. Generally in Legacy Blue Mirrors, you can look at the graveyards after the first couple turns and determine who's actually ahead. They have 4 cards in their graveyard to my 0, which means they're doing more than me. Well, shit. Might just have to pop Yorion in my hand here to use my mana. So tapping out into like the Planeswalker phase of the game, I don't really like. I wanna represent something here. If they just jam Jace or some shit, I'm in trouble. Tropical Island showed up last turn. Leovold is a card I can't really combo through. I would have to use the first Teferi bounce to clear Leovold, and then combo off after that, I guess. I'm going to hang on to this second plow for a very long time. Getting hit for 2 a turn versus getting hit for 1 a turn is just like completely different and game breaking. I am going to plow the front half of Uro here. Just want to get this out of the way. Don't want to worry about it. Not a play I usually make. And maybe it was wrong. I'm willing to believe it. But getting it out of the way is nice. Ooh, they didn't play a land or put one in off Uro, which means their hand is 7 spells right now. Strix on my own is exactly what I'm looking for right now. Start to even up this game state. And found a cantrip. Starting to catch up on the card selection. Oh, baby. Alright, there's Kitten and Strix. I want both of those. Which means I can't crack this fetch land if I want to keep the Kitten around. The combo's starting to come together. The value engine's starting to come together. Let's see if they can break out of this land screw. Depends on what the spells in their hand are. Oh, a Green Sun Zenith. Nice. Okay. We're doing that. Oh, wow. You're in a Lauren deck. I see. And we're just gonna pick up Strix for value here. All right. I'm suddenly extremely worried. I'm gonna draw the Kitten. And I'm gonna play Teferi first. I don't have high hopes of Teferi resolving. Oh, wow. It's in there. I'm gonna bounce Dryad Arbor. I don't want them to have that land. If I can Stone Rain you, I'm gonna do it. Gonna get Underground Sea because I need to cast my Strix here. Okay, that was a really good Force of Will to pick up. Now I don't die to a green source off the top. If they didn't have Force for Teferi, I gotta imagine they just have the Aloran in hand. We know they have Strix. They found the forest. Okay, Abrupt Decay. That's fine. Oh, is this the list I played on the channel earlier this week? By the time you're watching this, it's like much later than this week, but I did play an Abrupt Decay Aloran deck on the channel. That was sweet. Oh, man. This is painful. I would love to have drawn an instant there and deployed the cat. And I'm popping Yorion in my hand and just passing the turn. Probably could have attacked with one of these Strixes this time. Oh, glad I didn't. Sure. We both have a 4-mana combo engine in our otherwise control deck. This is fun. We both have a click-intensive combo in our control deck. That's less fun, a little bit scary. Okay, I'm definitely forcing. I can force Yorion, which leaves Kitten in my hand for possible shenanigans, or I can force pitching Kitten and Yorion for guaranteed draw 2 and a big creature. I'm going to pitch the Yorion because Kitten is the reason for the season here. Uh-oh, they forced me back. Pitching Baleful Strix. All right. One of us is... Oh, I might be dead. If they have something to go with their Harpy. Oh, they just have the Akuma. All right. I'm going to be a good sport and concede and hope that they give me the same consideration when I'm clicking through my combo. Alright, yeah, I drew too many lands that game for sure. Nightclubber is actually kind of sick. I can cast it off of Yorion if I need to. I want Dress Down, Plague Engineer, Nightclubber, Force of Negation. All of these things beat up on the Strix style decks. I like the Strix side of the deck and the combo side. I like Mystical Dispute. Don't really like Flusterstorm. What do we cut here? God, I just like every card in this deck. It's not fair. Probably Savine Zarek. Solitude's good. Maybe it's Prismatic Endings. They have like Carpet of Flowers. I'm going to wish I had Prismatic Ending. I want my combo pieces. Maybe I don't need Animate Dead here. Yeah, I need all the zeros. Like, normally I'm pretty comfortable shaving Mishra's Wobbles in Bobble decks, but that's like shaving Show and Tells and Show and Tell decks. It's not just like card selection here. I actually think I'd rather have Prismatic Endings than Animate Dead. Because their fair deck is really good too. Sucks that I have to respect this combo. I'm actually not going to bring in this Force of Negation. Keep an extra Prismatic Ending in, because there's already 2 in the main. And the only card I really want to Force of Negation in the matchup is the Yorion. Okay, I'm going to try it like this. We've seen Abrupt Decay. I hope I get to Daze and Abrupt Decay and flicker the target. That would be so sick. Bummer. Gonna mulligan this one. Gonna keep this one. Ugh, this is so reactive. This has the same problem that my hand in the first game did. But I am not gonna mulligan a functional hand here. They also mulled a 6. Another land, not what I'm looking for. Brainstorm, very much what I'm looking for. I'm gonna make my land drop. I guess I should Brainstorm now because Baleful Strix is a card in my deck. I'm gonna put back this Tundra and probably the Prismatic Ending. And then I can draw Ending next turn if I need it, or shuffle it away if I don't. And I have Mystical Dispute. Make sure I don't get Leovolded. Not gonna fight over this Coatl. Not gonna fight over this Coatl either. By main phasing it, they're showing me they don't have a land drop. They found one. I do not want Prismatic Ending now. I do not expect any sort of land hate out of them. I'm gonna Ponder first. Bauble, Ponder. I'm gonna take the Ponder, and then I'm gonna Brainstorm. I got some extra lands here I can get rid of. Found even more of them. Fetch immediately. I feel like I'm getting pretty heavy on black mana. I have enough of that. I'm gonna get Tundra this time. I'm gonna Ponder first and decide if I want to use this Bauble. Okay, now I don't want to use Bauble because I found a Kitten. Yeah, that'll be an engine with Kitten when we get there. Taking my 2. If they slam a Yorion here, they have to beat Force of Will and Swords to Plowshares with the combo. They're still miles ahead if that happens, but let's hope they just pass. Yikes. Alright. I'm not going to fight over the front half of Uro this time. That's not what this game is about. I think if I had ignored the front half of Uro last game, I'm just easily, and maybe not easily winning, but I'm able to disrupt, or have a chance at disrupting a Yorion. Displacer Kitten. I can play the Kitten and hold up Plow to flicker Kitten if they want to fight over it. Shuffling away the land that I'm pretty sure was on top of my deck. Low confidence that I remember the top of my deck correctly here. Do I even need a scrub land? Like, I could round out my colors here with scrub land, or I can get more blue lands. I don't really think I need more black. I'm gonna get Tundra. Okay. I feel like I kind of have to Bauble now, which is not something I wanted to do, but I need to move this game forward. I could just pop Yorion in my hand. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna pop Yorion in my hand. Give myself a chance to find something cool to do with Bauble. I'm kind of playing with fire here. I would love to get another card, just turn a card in my hand into another card here, trying to move it forward. But now they have to get through Force of Will, Mystical Dispute, and Swords to Plowshares. I have 3 layers of protection. There's the Carpet of Flowers that I mentioned that they might have. And they're going to get 5 mana off it because I have fetched exclusively islands this game. Mystical Dispute getting a lot worse here. We just went from feeling great to feeling a little worried. I still have 2 layers of protection, and if they get greedy somehow, but you have to be really greedy. You just make 5 green, slam a Lauren onto the stack. I guess if you hard cast Force, you get punished here. I'm going to force pitching Yorion. They hard cast Force of Will or Force of Negation to fight over this. I can dispute that. If they pitch cast or Flusterstorm or any other thing, I'm in some trouble. Oh, they might be doing it. Please get greedy with that extra mana. They haven't seen a Daze yet or a soft counter of any kind. We did it, Reddit. I'm going to dispute that. Found a place for Mystical Dispute to counter a spell through a Carpet of Flowers for 5. Okay, let's draw Teferi. What do I want here? The second bauble, little underwhelming, but it's fine. It's what I got here. I think with my hand this low, I need to just bauble twice and try to find more spells to cast. I guess I could look at the top card of my own deck, but I'm going to get that whether I like it or not. All right, I'm going to look at your deck. Leovold, Jesus Christ. I guess I'm bobbling again right now. Okay, I'll look at the top card of my deck for funsies. Pluto Delta, great. I'm going to play my cat. At least I have an answer to Leovold. Okay, I'm going to draw 2 fresh cards here. If they try to kill my kitten, I can Swords to Plowshares and flicker it in response. So I have a removal spell and a protection spell right now, if those end up being things that are important. I also have a 2/2 in play, so the Dryad Arbor Beatdown. This cuts 1/3 of their clock off. 5 black, geez. I can, if I get to my turn, I can Narset, activate Narset, Swords to Plowshares, activate Narset again. Okay, they cast the Leo first. Is something else happening with the rest of this black mana? It would be pretty sick to be able to Narset, Plow, Leovold, reset Narset, and go in twice. Brainstorm, okay. Unfortunate Narset's not in play yet. Narset does stop most Aloran lines. Like, if they have just the Okima, then they can win, but they can't, like, flicker Ice Fangs until they find the Okima. Risk the Hunger Tide. Oh, baby. Gonna get to flicker my cat. This is great. You may sacrifice a creature. If you do, destroy target creature. Okay, so they're gonna sack a creature here. Target my cat. I'm gonna Swords to Plowshares, Leovold, and flicker my cat. They get to draw a card, but the cat is bouncing. This is that fair value Anakin Skywalker. Or I guess this is the Padme cat. Anakin's the combo cat. This is the Padme cat. Pretty great. And because they sacked an Ice Fang Coatl, the other Coatl lost Death Touch, because that was their 3rd snow permanent. There's a world where I can attack Grist next turn and force a block. Ooh, Force of Will, pitching Ukima, okay. The Aloran combo's off the board. And they can still gain infinite life, or almost infinite life, and draw their deck, which is good enough in this case. But they can't combo drain me. Okay, and just a value Harpy picking up Ice Fang Coatl. Powerful stuff. Alright. 1 card in hand, it's Ice Fang Coatl. I have 1 card in hand, it's Narset. And I'm going to play the Narset. Kitten is going to target nothing. I would like the ability to attack, if that comes up. Come on, removal spell. Ponder, Daze. Fuck. Alright. Well, they still reset Narset. I'm going to take the Ponder. I get to cast Ponder, flicker Narset. Leovold stops the draw, but I do get to reset Narset, and if this finds a removal spell for Leo, I get to look at my top 3 cards all the same. Okay, I'm going to shuffle this, and then we're going to go off again. We got the wow, it's pretty sick in the chat. I concur. We got Wandering Emperor and Teferi in the bin, and I'm going to lose Narset. Wandering Emperor can actually kill Leo. Teferi can remove Leo and is pretty close to going off with Cat. Yeah, I guess I want Teferi. And unfortunately, the Teferi showed up 1 mana too late. And I'm gonna pass the turn here and hope that the draw step plus Ghostfang draw. Oh, they can do this a lot of times. Yeah, with Cavern Harpy and the Carpet, they can draw a lot of cards off Ice Fang Coatl right now. I guess they have to kill Narset first, but I'm not willing to sacrifice Kitten to keep it around. Or am I? Maybe I am. Maybe I have to be. I don't know. This is a tough spot. Fucking Leovold. That was the card that I said by name I was most worried about. I'm more worried about Leovold than I am about Olorin out of this deck. And there it is. Abrupt Decay. Swords of Plowshares, JK. Alright. Narset's dead. So Abrupt Decay. They did know that was there from the Brainstorm last turn. Okay. Let's see how far down the hole they want to go. Oh, they made green with Carpet, though. If they had made blue, they could have flickered 3 or 4 times. Right now they can flicker 2 times. That's still a lot of card. Or no, they have to cast Harpy because they don't have Olorin. So they can flicker once because they need black. And if they go to combat, they lose all this floating mana. So they're not going to be able to attack with Harpy this turn. Grist made an insect. And okay, they are choosing to push for damage. Okay, deck. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to resolve Teferi, bounce Leovold, and the Teferi is going to draw a 0-cost artifact. Or between draw step and Teferi, we're going to find like some cantrip to keep it going. Okay, oh wow, yeah, they just don't have any blue. Maybe this line is more color intensive than I thought, or maybe they misfloated off Carpet. I feel like they could have drawn at least 1 extra card this turn and just didn't. Okay. Come on, deck. Spell. Fuck. Alright. Well, I'm going for it. I guess I should fetch here. I have a fetch land for another shuffle. Let's just get a land out of the deck. And go white, blue, white, Displacer Kitten, target nothing. The Teferi could win the game right now. If I bounce this Leovold and hit a spell, we could just go. They get to draw a card from the Leo, but it doesn't matter because I have Teferi. Come on, deck. Non-creature spell. Okay, we take those. I don't want to save this for Leo. If I target Cavern Harpy, they just bounce it. I guess Cavern of Soul, or Carpet of Flowers. It feels like Cavern of Souls. I guess Carpet of Flowers is the one I want to clear. And Grist is a problem, but I want mana available. Yeah, I'm just going to end the Carpet, which lets me flicker Teferi, which will get a redraw. And Teferi can bounce the Dryad Arbor. Come on, spells. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Swords of Plowshares. All right. I think there are white sources left in my deck. Fetch. I'm going to get Plains. And I'm going to plow the Harpy because I can attack Grist with my cat still. And it doesn't matter if this resolves. Yep. Pay 1 life to bounce Harpy. Flicker Teferi. Teferi can bounce the insect token and draw a card. Come on, 0 drop. 0 drop. 0 drop. Oh, baby. This is so sick. I'm having a good time right now. Teferi's reset, and I get a lot of looks here. Force of Will, Force of Negation, no. I'm racing to the bottom here. Yeah, we did it. We did it. Oh my god, I actually win now. Okay, I'm going to target nothing with Teferi. Oh, I found the Oracle. And now I can draw my deck. Here we go. Wow, 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 this is fucked. And now it's just a matter of clicking through it. The Oracle's in my hand. And because I have a mana open, I can't actually miss. Even if Mox Amber is my last card, I'm still good. Okay, there we go. Okay. They said, this is just infinite, right? And I said, yeah, I have Oracle in my hand. And then they conceded. All right. Yep. Good manners paid off from the first game. They conceded to my combo in the second. Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, Fair Teferi, just shredding through, finding the 0. Wow. I may have underestimated the fair aspect of Displacer Kitten until just now. Like, I mentioned it in the deck tech. I'm just not sure that I really got it until just now. Okay, they are an Uro deck, but I think I have enough Narsets and white removal that I don't need unlicensed Hearse. Nothing's going to change there. Leovold sucks. There's no Karakas in my deck to fight it. They are a Zenith deck. I think Prismatic Ending is going to do more than Daze most of the time, though I'm still just like so hyped about the idea of dazing an Abrupt Decay. But you can't live all your dreams at once. I'm going to shave a Daze for another ending. I'm doing that because we've seen Carpet of Flowers now. I'm cutting a card that sucks against Carpet of Flowers for a card that's great against Carpet of Flowers. Okay, I'm keeping a hand with cantrips this time instead of lands and non-cantrip spells. Now, we both know about each other's 4-mana combo engines. I think it's safe to say, though, that Displacer Kitten, Teferi, and Mishra's Bauble are all better standalone Magic cards than Cavern Harpy, Okima, and whatever. And, like, Aloran, like, Displacer Kitten without a spell is better than Aloran without a creature. Okay, I'm going to bauble them first to have the extra info when I ponder. Dryad Arbor on top. Good to know. Ponder. There's Kitten. I really don't want these lands, but I do want the Kitten. Okay. I can take the Kitten. I draw all of these cards because Bauble picks up the fetch land, and then the scrub land ends up in my hand after that. Okay. I am saddled with all of these bad cards. But I have the Kitten in a 0. We're a Teferi away. Ponder. This might be a Bauble myself situation with a fetch land. Get a little build your own scry. Dryad Arbor is not, in your hand is not where you want that card. In your Green Sun Zenith deck. And they played Polluted Delta. Cool. Drawing the scrub land I don't really want. I'm going to Bauble myself. I'm not in a position right now with all these lands to fart around and wait for Teferi to show up. Narset on top of the deck, I'll leave that there. We can play with that card. There's the Arbor. Ready to challenge Narset. These lands, my god. Okay. Got a fetch here. An island. And I'm going to play Scrubland to insulate against Carpet where I can. Hope this resolves. Like, I'm okay with an Abrupt Decay, but if this gets countered, that's kind of awful for me. Cool thing that could happen here is if Narset resolves and finds a Bauble. It did not find a Bauble. Wandering Emperor kind of fucks. I could just get onto like a fair plan, take Wandering Emperor. I could grab one of these forces and leave Kitten behind while protecting myself. Plow isn't quite good enough. I would slam like any 0 here. But I'm going to take Wandering Emperor and just play Big Esper. If they have a Coatl in the end step, they can put Narset down to 1. And they do get to draw a card because it's their turn. Or not their turn. Oh, there's Coatl. Any of the 0s off the top would be really sweet because they're going to attack Narset down to 1 here. And if I can Kitten, flicker Narset, and just start ripping again, reset her. That's pretty hot. Carpet, alright. I did manage to keep 1 mana off them by leading on Scrubland instead of the Tundra. I'd be very disappointed to have to pitch my Kitten to Force and Will. But yeah, at least it's an option. Auriac Salvagers could never do that. Here come the jerks. Narset's at 1. And what are we following up with? Please don't make green mana right now. Uh-oh. Well, they made green mana right now. What does that mean for me? Means, I'm forcing this Leovold. Ugh. Yeah, Leovold is just not a card I want to play against. Sorry, Kitten. I love you. I'll see you later. Thank you for your service last round. Ooh. Very big money. Wandering Emperor. -2. I could just jam her, exile one of these cards now, but that doesn't... Yeah, all of my Planeswalkers would end up at 1, no matter what I do with them, basically. I guess that's not true. I could let them attack, and then exile one of these things. Okay. Guess I'm doing that. Yeah, if they just like tap their mana and cast a lore in here, I'm in trouble. But they can't really do that with Narset in play, so they have to attack first. All right, there's a little bit of wiggle to this. The carpet's making everything really difficult, of course, as it does. All right, I'm gonna Wandering Emperor here, and I want to exile one of these creatures. It's probably the Coatl. Because Teferi can bounce the Arbor in a way that's actually relevant, and the 2/2s on the ground can block the 1/1 on the ground, and the Coatl is more likely to be a functional combo piece. Storm. I am up 3 minutes on the clock. We've both been good sports about the clicks required, and if they do assemble the combo, I will still concede. I'm not going to start timing them out now, but if we do end up in just a Bug versus Esper control matchup, the clock could be a big player. All right, Dak, help me out. Okay, Teferi, let's go. All these just random 1/1s lining up perfectly against all my planeswalkers that end up at 1 loyalty eventually. Brainstorming in response, you got it. Hit force, pitching force. I guess Wandering Emperor is dead anyway, so might as well make a 2/2. Disappointing. Okay. 1/1 beatdown. They did force their way down to 1 card in hand, though. Oh god, are their last 2 cards Aloran and Cavern Harpy? I'll take my 1. And maybe they just resolved Aloran now while the getting's good. They'll mess around with it later. Okay, Force of Will plays here pretty hard. Me not wishing for Aloran right now Yorion right now is giving away that I have Force, but that's okay. I am winning the damage race, and I'm up on clock. If they can't put together their combo, I'm actually in good shape, despite the Aloran in play. And they are drawing wild from Hellbent. Oh god, they floated blue. Their 2 cards are just Cavern Harpy, Force of Will. Alright, they're not. Alright, and we're just going to poke back and forth a little bit more. Spell? Ooh, that's a spell. For sure. I'm going to sandbag the cat and put Yorion in my hand. Every time I poke them for 2 is also an effective way to slow down the Harpy engine. Because every time I hit them for 2, it's 2 cards they can't draw off Cavern Harpy. Them coming up with Uro here would be pretty rough. Oh, they floated 3 black and decided not to use it. Interesting. Probably just don't have a spell and clicking through the carpet so it doesn't trigger again. In for 2 again. Oh, flashing in Leovold. Yeah, that's a thing you can do. You got me. Sure. I'm glad I didn't draw a cantrip, Jesus. I was not playing around that at all. That's what they did with the black mana. They realized that they don't need to spend it, and they can get me a lot better by not doing it. Nothing to flicker here, but it is a 4/5 creature. Sudden Edict. Alright, suddenly that's gone. My cantrips being off is kind of rough. Removal spells are great. Down to Uro, that's awful. That's 2 extra draws, lots of extra life. They can easily escape it here. If they find Cavern Harpy, it's a win. I'm gonna take my 5 here. Or, yeah, it's 5. That is the right number. I am at 1 on board with the Uro. I'm not gonna crack this fetch land if I can get away with it. I would love to find Swords to Plowshares right now. Swords to Plowshares, Teferi. Oh yeah, Swords to Plowshares. What's up? 1, 2, 4. Kitten. I am not Kitten. Harpy in response. I guess I have to plow Uro. Get to draw a card. I'm dead if I don't. Okay. They can still draw their whole deck here. Or 19 cards. Oh, another Harpy. Alright. I will be a good sport and concede. I am beat. They can combo out in response to the plow and get Akima, and I'm not going to make them click through it. They were a good sport to me when it didn't make me click my combo. I will return the favor. GG's, opponent. On to the next one. I'm on the draw for round 2. I'm going to keep my hand. Having the Oracle in the opener is not something you basically ever want, but pair of Brainstorms and some removal. will cover me in most matchups by some time. Underground Sea off of a Flooded Strand, casting Ponder. It's the mirror match. Lock it in. I'm going to lead on C. I just drew another one, so if they're somehow a Wasteland deck, I don't lose a color here. Baleful Strix. Popular choice today. There's the Kitten. Let's see if I can turn this frown upside down, put Oracle into my deck. Oh, wow. All right. Put Oracle in the deck, and I don't expect I'll need Solitude, but I also, like, maybe want it. I could put this Scrubland on top. Now, I guess I need to work my way towards the 0, so I do need to make a hard call about what I'm going to get rid of here. And I guess it's just Solitude. I wonder if this is a 60-card kitty deck. What's going on with these Baleful Strixes in the Esper Shell. It's not a normal thing in Legacy. I'm going to grab a Tundra, and I'm not going to plow Strix. I'm going to take my time here. Okay, cool. I can cast my Strix, leaving up plow if I want to. And next turn I can do the Kitten thing where I tap out for Kitten, but I have days. That would be cool. Okay, you are check pile. Understood. Well, if he dies, he dies. Took Brainstorm, Scrubland. Didn't need either of those. Let's fucking go. Towards the Plowshares. Okay. All right, I'm gonna just return the favor here. Plow yours. And then, okay, Teferi can come back from the graveyard off of Savine's Reclamation, but having Teferi in play is also really nice. But if they Snapcaster, that hurts. I am still leading on Teferi. Kind of demands a Force of Will. And we got it. Force Pitching Force. All right. Snapcaster him to Turok. They'd need a land as well to get around days, which they do have. Okay. Nothing going on here. All right, this is going to be an exciting Savine Zerek. I love casting this card in fair matchups. Let's fucking go. Fairies in. Bounce nothing. Draw a card. Animate dead. Oh no. All right. Let's do stuff. Deck. Let's get it together here. Probably Prismatic Ending. Yep. Bummer. Boo. Boo. That was a good Prismatic Ending. Okay, Savine's Wreck can just like hit 2 land drops here, or I can save it for later. Probably want to save it for later. I can pop Yorion in my hand, or I can just play my cat. Yeah, I think I want a cat. I'm gonna bobble myself first. See what I'm working with here. Top card is Ponder. I like Ponder. Displacer Kitten, get in there. If they counter it, I have Animate Dead. If they try to remove it, I have Daze. Cat's off to you. Okay, 1 card left in their hand, and they're about to draw another. All right, they had another plow. Okay, they're hellbent. Let's see who rips out of this first. Don't have Snapcaster Mage. All right, EI is also horrible, but it's not as bad as Snapcaster would be. Now Savine's Wreck is good for a card off of Mishra's Bauble. EI found Brainstorm, as it does. 1 card left in their hand. I'm drawing Ponder. Oh, I drew Ponder already. I didn't know. Oh, right, yeah, that's how Bauble works. I already had the Ponder. Right. Yeah, I did not know what I was drawing there. Recruiter the Guard, I'm extremely interested in. Don't get these forces, even though I would like them. Don't shuffle the library. Underground Sea, Recruiter. Go find another cat. I think Displacer Kitten's better than Baleful Strix here. Yeah, because I can just keep going. Let's do this shit. Him to Turok. I got to keep the Animate Dead. They're probably pretty happy with their hit there. And Savine's Wreck puts this all back, even if they do like Snapcaster me here. Drawing a spell would be great. Not a spell, of course. Okay, options include animating the cat. But I don't really want to do that yet. I could Savine's Wreck the Bauble back. Or I could just pop Yorion in my hand and begin the slow beats. Yeah. Yorion Flickering. Recruiter of the Guards. Feel good. If I had drawn a spell, like a Brainstorm or Ponder or whatever, I would have Animate Deaded. Alright, they're going to him to Turok me. And that's okay, because I have the Savine's Wreck targeting Animate Dead and Bobble. Imdratrak is so fucked, but yeah. Good shit all around. And EI to follow it up, my goodness. Relentless. Inquisition of Kozilek and Exile. Don't care about that. I'm going to fetch here. I'm going to need 5 mana this turn anyway. Don't really want to draw a land right now. Bitch. Okay. I'm going to target Animate Dead with the first Savine's Wreck. And I'm going to attach that to Yorion. And I'm going to copy Savine's Wreck, targeting Mishra's Bauble. The Yorion comes into play. And I'm going to flicker. Do I flicker the Animate Dead? Yeah, probably. That seems sick. All right, flicker the Recruiter and the Animate. Then Yorion re-dies. And then I get Mishra's Bauble, which I'm going to target myself with. Really like a spell. My top card is Swords to Plowshares. That's a good one. Okay. I'll leave that there. Play Prismatic Vista. And then in the end step, oh, right, I have to recruit, so I'm not going to get that Swords to Plowshares anyway. It's fine. We get back Animate Dead and Recruiter, and I'm going to Animate Dead Yorion again. This is insane. This one of Animate Dead is working. I'm going to get Baleful Strix, because that's an exciting one. If I am in this Yorion loop, I'm very excited about it. This is why we like Pokemoki. Just one of Animate Dead in the deck. Why the hell not? And it's doing insane things right now. So these will go away until my opponent's end step. Mishra's Bauble draws another Mishra's Bauble. Jace is a powerful card. No doubt about it. Is it better than looping Yorions with Displacer Kitten? I don't know. The Swords to Plowshares breaks up the Animate Dead loop, but it does not stop me from recruiting again. Okay, Strix. And they did play their land to attack for 2. You have to be careful of the clock, because this opponent is not going to... There's no gentleman's agreement here. Okay, target Yorion again. So I can just search for another kitten and blink these things again. I'm just going to go around and around like this. Okay, I'm going to play Baleful Strix. Black, blue, Strix, draw a card. Down Teferi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm 1 short. If I play Teferi now, I could lose. Displacer Kitten is only non-land. I think that's fine. Play the Kitten. Bobble. Kitten, flicker Strix. Just going to draw cards here and float Bobble in play. Just draws a card. I get to ponder and draw another card if they don't plow right now. Island. Ponder. Flicker Strix. Oh, this is fucked. Dragon's Rage Channeler is trash. The Bauble is another card. And if I find like any instant, it would be a great time to pick up a Daze. Ponder, I'm also okay with. Do not shuffle the library. Could just drop this Force of Negation into my hand as well. And save the Ponder. Yeah, I think I like that. And then I'm going to Bauble nobody. Oh, they just conceded. They've seen enough. Oh, they conceded the whole match. They're out of here. They don't want none of this. On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. We're on the draw in a Yorion mirror. Mirror match guaranteed. I'm going to keep this hand on the draw with a Brainstorm. I'm going to let it ride with this one lander. Uh-oh. They are actually Death and Taxes this time. I've been tricked so many times recently about Death and Taxes decks. Okay, that's good. I can fetch basic planes with this Marsh Flats. If I need to, I can Daze if I need to. Got options is what I'm saying. Having turn 2 Thalia, turn 2 Stoneforge. I would rather plow this than Daze it. I'll find a target for Daze eventually. And this lets me brainstorm and use my fetch land on my turn. Get rid of this Thassa's Oracle I don't want. Try to hit additional land drops. All right, B-Storm, let's go. Found some more lands, get rid of Thoracle, and it's actually tough. I want the rest of these cards, like all of them. Am I not ready for Kitten? Seems crazy to send Kitten back, but if I'm under Rashad Port, yeah, maybe Kitten is a later problem. All right. And I'm already exposed to Wasteland, so fuck Rashad Port, fuck it, Wasteland. I'm just playing my lands. And my next 2 land drops are also non-basic. Like, Wasteland is gonna find a target. So I'm just gonna cast my spells. There's Wasteland, it's fine. Hopefully I get to daze something this turn. Nope, no love. No love for daze. Alright. There's the port. I'm not gonna brainstorm, actually. Go ahead, take it. And play another C. If they spend time porting me, I actually do have land drops. I have things to do with my mana. I have days. Not a huge deal. Go ahead. Using the brainstorm is not important here. As long as I have land drops to make and mana to... Like, getting brainstorm locked here would be bad. But having 1 less mana to operate with in my main phase, not a huge deal. My deck does have basics, so I'm not worried about this Field of Ruin. Happy to search for a basic. I want Island, but I probably should get Plains. Alright, fine. Basic Plains is in play now. I got a lot of those, actually, opponent. Thanks for trying. The Plains is tapped. I could stick to Teferi right now. Or I could cantrip a few times right now. I think I want to stick to Teferi. And attack. I cannot address a Skyclave Apparition here, so I'm just going to draw a card. They can get it around days. I don't have Force. If I had Force of Will, I guess it's the same. Recruiter of the Guard, sure. Hopefully this gets something I can daze, and then I can just go into Cat Town next turn. By days, I don't get to go into Cat Town, though. I don't know. What do I want you to get here? Stoneforge Mystic? Yeah, it's fine. Is it fine? Is anything fine? I guess that's annoying. I really want to do cat stuff. It's time to daze, though. Yeah, I'm not letting you have that. Another Teferi. You love to see it. Plus, Teferi now. I think I want to brainstorm. See what this hand can do. Towards the Plowshares. Alright, lots of lands now. And I'm just going to hold back my Strix, protect my Teferi, and try to do cat business next turn. Third Rashad Port. Skyclave Apparition. Alright. You got it. Removing the Teferi. I have another one. Not a huge deal. Stoneforge Mystic. I have another Plow. Not a huge deal. Found Lion Sash. Okay. Ooh, they didn't attack with Strix, which is good, because I didn't want to block it. I'm still in the Teferi bubble, so I can ponder in the end step, and then shuffle and cast Prismatic Ending. Is Narset? I'm not convinced Narset's better than this land. They're going to untap with triple port. Yeah, I'm actually just going to hold on to the land. Don't shuffle, and then fetch for basic island. Basic island. Prismatic Ending, the Stoneforge Mystic. Then we're going to do some cat shit. Oh, wow, I drew Mox Amber? That's insane. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay. My combo is getting closer and closer to there. I'm going to play my cat. Shmeow. I'm going to attack for 1 in the air. I have Swords of Plowshares that can flip a Solitude if I'm worried about that, which I'm mostly not. And by clip, I mean fizzle. Hey, they did it. I'm going to fetch for Scrubland here. Or do I just want Tundra? Yeah, probably just more Tundras. Okay, they pitched their Lion Sash. That's great. They're going to try to exile my cat or Strix. Either way, it's a blowout. Okay, I'm going to Swords to Plowshares, Skyclave Apparition. Flicker my cat. And I get a 3/3. And your Solitude goes away. All doing shit I wanted to do anyway. And then Mox Amber flickers Strix and I draw a card. Nice. I am a believer in Displacer Kitten, starting right now. I don't know that I'd play this deck at a Grand Prix, but I believe in displacing kittens. All right. They had a second Solitude to clear out the cat. Not a huge deal. We'll find a way through this. I have a 3/3. Force of Will, nice of you to show up. Okay. Teferi Time Raveler. Get in. Float blue. Bounce amber. Make black. Cast Strix. And fetch. Or I have so many lands in play right now. I was gonna get Yorion, but now I'm going to cast Recruiter instead. Grab another cat. And threaten a win next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to attack because that is not my route to victory currently. It might have made more sense actually to put Yorion in hand now, and I would have had enough mana to tutor for cat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could force this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh yeah, I'm going to force this. Another cat down. There's one left in my deck, but I'm about to Yorion to find the last cat and draw 2 cards off Strixes. Oh, this Mox Amber's actually been fucked. Yorion in hand, plus Teferi. Land for turn. Wandering Emperor is cool, but this is cooler. Attack with my Strixes in the air. That damage through. Yorion. Flickering. Strix, Recruiter, Mox, and Teferi. Done. And then let's bring the squad back, find the last kitten. I'm gonna recruit first. Grab kitten. Towards the plowshares, alright. If they draw the land and go for their own Yorion, I can plow Solitude with the Mox Amber. Continues just being fucking insane. Alright. They can remove my Teferi so they don't just win next turn. Or I don't just win next turn. Oh, I forgot to float white. Shit. Shit. Oh, I have Yorion. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, in the end step. Or do I want to untap and use Kitten and just draw a bunch of cards? Yeah, I think drawing cards with Kitten is better. Rashad and Port. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I can still do what I want to do. All right. 1, 2, 3. Nope. I need my white up. 3, 4. I'm not using black mana this turn. Attack with my flying creatures and my 3/3. I'll trade off with Solitude now if they give me the opportunity. And if they don't, I will simply shred them into goo. I guess I'm just passing the turn here. I'm way down on clock. I better win all the games. Okay, so here's Yorion. I'm going to respond to its trigger by just lighting up this battlefield. Starting with Solitude. And Flicker, Strix. Draw a card. Oh, I found my own Solitude. That's fun. Get rid of your Solitude. And do I care if they recruit, or do I want to protect? Yeah, I just want to protect the kitten wherever I can. Flicker, Strix. Maybe I should have flickered Yorion. Yeah, that's better. Whoops. I'm thinking too small here. And actually, I'm just going to Solitude. Pitching my Wandering Emperor. Make this Yorion a stone brick. I could have... Okay, I could have... If I was going to do this, I could have pitch cast the Solitude, then plowed one of them flickered Solitude instead of flickering Strix. Okay. I don't think it matters. Like, we're still doing it, but that could have been done a little better. Figuring out all the tricks here. Night Clubber, let's go. Plague Engineer. I mostly like Dress Down against Death and Taxes. This is a Supreme Verdict matchup for sure. EE is worse than it used to be against this deck, but still probably good. Force Negation, not where I want to be. Most of their interaction in this deck is exile-based, so Savine's Wreck gets a lot worse. I like Solitude, I like Force of Will. I usually don't like Bauble versus Thalia, but once again, it's a combo piece. Daze is really good with Kitten later. Though it's awkward that most of their removal is ETB triggers. Because you can daze the Swords to Plowshares, flicker your cat, and the plow fizzles. If you daze Solitude and they pay the 1, then Solitude comes into play, and the flicker has already resolved when the trigger goes on the stack. That might be a strong argument against daze. I have the forces still. I mean, Daze is also just a reasonable magic card against Death and Taxes, but on the draw, yeah, I'm not in love with it. Just play to the board. Let's go. Plague Engineering Cat in the opener. Keeping this. I can access Basic Island to get off the ground if I feel like I need to do that. Oh, yeah. Mother! Okay, I have Basic Plains, Basic Swamp, Basic Island now. We're cooking. I don't want to Brainstorm now, but if they play Thalia or... Okay. I'm going to get to Brainstorm on my turn. Might be too late, but... Yeah, I'm going to have to deal with Mother, and then also deal with the Cauldra. I would have preferred Thalia or Spirit of the Lab there, for sure. Basic Island. Brainstorm. Let's get rid of most of these lands, I hope. Engineered Explosives plays here. I'm going to get rid of these two Tundras. Or is it Tundra Narset? I don't think Narset's going to help me more than Tundra will. Then Mishra's Bauble. I'm going to Bauble my opponent and fetch. They're drawing a Plains card. I get a Plains of my own. And I can play EE on 1 here. And that gives me... Yeah, that shortcuts me by a turn. Like if I find Swords to Plowshares or Prismatic Ending, I have to clear Mother of Runes before I can use it on the Cauldra Germ. And by playing out the explosives here, that lets me draw that card this turn and actually curve out on it rather than spending a whole turn Plague Engineering. Gives me a chance to only take 5 from Cauldra instead of 10. Wow. Dress down. Okay. Still doesn't help me, but cool. All right, well, since we're here, I'll just destroy all humans. Makes this EE pretty awkward. But at least the Mother's out. Dress down is another way I can angle with a Germ. Field of Ruin with no targets. Got him. I'm at 8. How about an answer? Okay, I'm gonna cast Narset, leaving up white, trying to spike one of my outs here. Prismatic Ending and Swords to Plowshares are what I want. Mishra's Bauble, not it. Bauble does play with Kitten, though. Does that matter? Does that get me anything? I am going to take the Bauble. And I think I'm just going to chill. Like, they can spend a turn attacking Narset, or I can activate her twice next turn. Wow, Path to Exile, that's generous. 5/6. Yeah, I'll take another land. Yes, please. Field of Ruin me too. Come on. Fuck around, find out. Cycling Timeless Dragon. That's a little scary. That's another big thing that's hard to answer. If they spend time attacking Narset, putting 1 damage on Narset would be pretty smart. Alright, they're... Yeah, because now I don't get to flicker it. If I use her, she's gone. Clever. And it doesn't change the clock at my face at all. Well done. Extraction Specialist. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature or card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature can attack or block for as long as you control Specialist. Okay, so you get your Mother of Runes back. Alright, that's fine. I love Extraction Specialist, by the way. I played that on the channel recently. It's pretty great. Okay, I can Narset and she's gone. I can Kitten, Bauble, Flicker Narset. I think I just need to use Narset. If I find Teferi, still not enough, but alright, yeah, I just gotta spew her. Did find Teferi, which is not a whole solution. Mostly not a solution at all, actually. Is Brainstorm better? How do I win this game? I'm at 3. I have this turn. Oh, actually, I can bounce the Germ. Right now is still live to do that. Okay. Teferi, bounce the Germ. Mother of Runes is still summoning sick. Bouncing Cauldra doesn't work here, but bouncing Germ does. And I'm going to end up a little short right now. I need to spike a Plow off of this Bauble. Fruiter of the Guard. Annoying. And I have to explosives now, or else Plow doesn't work. Okay. Here we go. Swords to Plowshares off the top for another draw step. Cycling another Timeless Dragon, you got it. Wow. Alright, we're dead. Yeah, I've seen 30, 40 cards this game and 0 white removal spells. That is how you lose to Death and Taxes with an Esper Control deck. Okay, the only thing I'm thinking about for game 3 is if I want Daze back in the deck or not. I don't think I do, because Daze better than Animate Dead. Maybe, because everything they do is exile based. Is having 1 Daze in my 80 card deck even coherent? Probably not. I'm going to get the Animate Dead. I'm just going to play the same 80 again. And we're looking for white removal spells this time. Little Swords to Plowshares action. I have 11 minutes to play this game. I'm not in love with this hand, but I am going to keep it. It sees cards and interacts. No white removal though, and the Oracle is bad. But let's make it happen. I'm going to bobble myself with a fetch land. Get a little scry selection here. Mishra's Bauble me. Top card is Narset. I think I do want that. Yeah, I'll keep it. Not going to shuffle. Another Mother. White removal. Is it time? But with the Dress Down, I have a little counterplay with the Mother that I wouldn't have had last turn. And yeah, Dress Down can take the text off of a Stoneforge Mystic on arrival. Spirit of the Lab. Okay. I'm going to Dress Down in the end step and then untap and Narset. I get a Tundra. That makes sense. Dress Down in the end step. No protection, no Spirit Bubble. There's a Kitten. I like those. Should probably ponder while I still can, rather than goofing around with Narset. Ooh, Clubber. I like that. Oh, Clubber Lang, Mr. T. That's a Rocky reference. I just want all of these cards, but I want Teferi last. Do not shuffle my library. I'm going to play Scrubland. If I'm going to get wasted, I prefer to lose Scrubland. I can blitz Night Clubber next turn, even if they waste me, and take the Black Source. I can cast Clubber and just have it in play as a game object if they don't interact with my mana at all. But they do have Wasteland. Flicker Wisp. Oh, hell yeah. They're probably going to Flicker Wasteland and then waste me in the end step, but I still get to club them. Just feed the X1s. It took me off my Black Source. That was smart. Gonna have to blitz it, but that's okay. Still happy with that arrangement. Blitz means it gets haste, it dies at the end of turn, and when it dies, I draw a card. If you're not familiar with Streets of New Capenna Limited. Bang! Oh, 4 for 1. Wish I could have got the cat into play first and cast a spell, flickered it for the hard lock, but the Animate Dead is in my deck. I get to draw a card in the end step. It's the Teferi that we knew about. Okay, have Kitty and Teferi ready with Force backup. Thalia does not slow me down here. I can spend 4 mana on a Teferi, bounce the Thalia, play Cat next turn. Here's Teferi, bounce your Thalia. Playing Engineer, okay. Yeah, that just answers the Thalia next turn for freezies. Cyclave Apparition. If I pitch Oracle, I can't combo anymore. I'm going to give myself a chance here. But pitching Narset sucks so hard. Alright, I'm going to give myself a chance. I'm going to pitch the Narset. At the Pro Tour, I don't think I would do that. I would have just let it resolve and played the value game. But I'm going to give myself a chance to draw just like any cantrip. Keep the party going. If I draw the 0, I win. Another Kitten. Sucks. Well, at least I have 2 now. If they spend energy answering one of them, I got the backup. I don't know how long it takes to click through this combo. It's faster than Bomberman, which is a deck that I play with some regularity on the channel. It's probably faster than Aloran too. I would guess I would need like 5 minutes to execute this combo. Rooter, are we getting a Solitude, an emergency Solitude? Yep, Solitude is revealed. Solitude pitched. Flicker Wisp. I don't have a spell for the blowout, but that's okay. I have another cat. How about a spell? That's a spell. It counts. It's not pretty, but it works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cat. Gonna fetch. Just got a white source of some variety. Undra seems good. That probably should have been Scrubland, actually. Plus Teferi. Prismatic Ending, targeting Recruiter. It doesn't exile it, but it does flicker Teferi and let me minus. Do I want to? I'm going to minus on nothing, actually. Just draw a card. Come on, Bobble. All right. A lot of plays here that I would not make at the Pro Tour, but I am enjoying myself with the cat. They have Thalia and 2 mystery cards in hand. Oh god, please play Thalia. These are all humans. These are all humans, chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Call the police. There's been another triple homicide. The second one of the match. Beep, boop, bop. Splat. Aw, they don't even want to let me brainstorm and see if I'm going to combo out this turn. Fuck yeah, Nightclubber. Smear them. Threaten a combo. Threaten a combo. Smear them again with Plague Engineer. Oh, that was nasty. On to the next one. I'm on the draw again. This hand's great. I'm keeping it. Got the Teferi and the cat here. Some protection, some selection. What else do you want out of your Magic the Gathering deck? Please don't stifle me. Okay. We dodge the stifle. I'm going to get a basic island and ponder here. Force of Negation, ponder, prismatic ending. I like all of these cards in different ways. Would Delver ever just do nothing on turn 1? Like, if it's Delver, I want prismatic ending and ponder and a shuffle away Force of Negation. If it's Storm or Show and Tell, other Volcanic Island decks, I want Force of Negation. Alright. I'm going to put the Force in my hand. Just give myself a chance to survive against a combo deck. And if they're a fair deck, I'll probably just overpower them anyway. Mitigate risk is what I'm doing here. Oh, is this the Maxtortion design mistake pile? Max Gilmore, aka Maxtortion, has been farming with just a deck full of broken rug cards. The Ponder, shit, the Ponder is on top of my deck, not the Prismatic Ending. I'm gonna have to deal with this. That's probably the best target in this whole matchup for Force of Negation, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm gonna ponder a couple of Strix and an Ending. I do like these cards. I'm gonna put Ending on top and draw that now. In case I have to shuffle this turn. I'm not sure why that would happen, but Ending's the card I want. Though, I would have been a lot happier pitching Strix to Force of Negation than Teferi or Kitten. Yeah, this game is like one stacked ponder away from awkward, unfortunately. If I knew what they were doing, I would have drawn the Prismatic Ending last turn, kept the ponder, kept the ending, shuffled away the Force of Negation, ended the library. They just paid the max for their library. Now, even if I ending it, they're going to be up 2 cards on that exchange. Now it's up to removal and basic planes to handle this. Oh, it's just Onzi mess? Sure, 4-color Onzi disaster mess. You got it. I feel a lot better about that. Though, Uro's probably also in the Max deck. I don't know what this is right now. I don't know if Max is playing a Arrakis. Prismatic Ending, let's go. Alright, the library's gone. We're back to playing normal 1-for-1 Magic. Takes a lot of pressure off of me. This deck does have like 2 stifles in it, which is really annoying, but I have to even think about that. But I don't have to think about it for a while. I'm drawing Strix. I can play Underground Sea, play Strix without ever using my fetch land. I can plow also without ever using my fetch land. A lot of action here to be had. Okay, I'm going to Force of Negation this. Like I said, I have another Strix coming, and now that I don't have to pitch Teferi or Cat, I'm happy with this. If they force back, it's a 3-for-2. And they're going to recuperate it, but it being 3-for-2 is nice, and I can just jam Teferi and bounce it if they use a force now. Okay, that's countered, and it's gone. We like that. Best target we're going to get in this matchup for Sylvan Lib for Force of Negation. I'm bringing Strixie back, another Force of Negation. Damn it. But okay. I played 2 of those. I've drawn them both. The card is bad in this matchup. They even have Caracas that can protect Uro from Swords of Plowshares. Like, it resets it, they have to replay it over and over again, but that's bad. I have to really manage my clock here, because I'm going to be really good at making this scrappy, like hard for them to win, but they might be able to outvalue me going long if I don't pop the combo. Right now, I've done nothing to indicate that I'm a combo deck of any kind, which I really like about this deck. I love when my combo deck can just pretend it's not. Didn't shuffle Brainstorm. They like what they saw. Wasteland, yeah, that's a good one. Got me. One card away from Uro, if we count the fetch land. Max's deck has one Carpet of Flowers in the main. Just like such a tilt. There's just one or two of every stupid card. Like Carpet of Flowers, Daze, Stifle. I don't think Max is playing Loam, though. This is the chance to force a negation the Loam. But I don't think... Like, I think Cat and Teferi are my way out of this game. It's going to have to fetch a basic. Alright, please don't have Stifle. I didn't have Stifle. I'm going to ignore... Oh, this is Marsh Flats. I was about to say I'm going to ignore my swamp and just get another island, but that's not a thing I can do. Double white matters a little bit. Alright, I am going to get the swamp, though. That's for Strix and Animate Dead. Yeah, those cards are important enough. Teferi, get in there. I have Force Protection. I will invest in protecting Teferi if they force me. If they daze me, I'll think about it. But I guess I have to kind of push on Teferi no matter what, because that's my way out of the game. Allowing the Strix in response, that's really smart. Because I was definitely going to attack then bounce my Strix. Draw a card with Teferi. Found the Animate Dead. Thought I fetched that swamp. In some trouble to a lightning bolt, but now I can force with some protection. Because Teferi keeps counter magic from happening, and they indicated they don't have counter magic. They can dredge Loam and just chuck Uro here, or they could fetch. But if they don't dredge Loam, then they have to exile Loam. Feels like prismatic ending. I am going to protect Teferi because I believe him to be extremely important to my plan. Force of Negation keeps a card out of their graveyard for Uro as well. Little expressive iteration. Follow up. Found Grove the Burn Willows. My goodness. Yeah, this is not Max's deck. Punished by fetching basics, but they were loaming Wasteland. I didn't really have a choice. No targets for Animate Dead right now. I'll just pop Yorion in my hand. Hope I'm not dead. Still didn't dredge Loam. Still have the Wasteland and Fetch Land in their hand from last turn. Here's Uro. It exiled the Loam. That's hot. Big fan. Flooded Strand, I don't believe was the Fetch Land they picked up before. I thought it was a green one. I may have lost track. Not gonna lie. Getting Plateau, Jesus. And they have the P-Fire. We're fucked. They did tap Caracas to do that. If my Swords of Plowshares resolves, we have a chance. Let's go. At least one of the cards in their hand is a land. Uro's gone. All right. You're saying there's a chance. Yeah, they can rebuy P-Fire and beat up on my Planeswalkers, so I'm going to have to find really clever ways to work around this, but I just bought a lot of time in this game. They have Punishing Fire, Wasteland as two of the cards in their hand right now. Yeah, this is not Max Pile, and the Force Negations are actually really good against Loam and Punishing Fire, so this is just not the deck that I thought it was. They have the Brewer's advantage right now. I'm going to play Strix. It's going to die to Punishing Fire, but it's going to move me forward a little bit. I'm going to sandbag that Bauble and try to find a way to wiggle through this with Teferi. I'm in a pretty tight squeeze with a lot of different resources right now. Like, I have to get Teferi into play. He has to stay there. Then I have to resolve Cat, all of which pushing through Wasteland and Punishing Fire. If I Teferi and plus Teferi, they dredged Loam and hit another Loam. Okay, there's at least 3 Loams in this deck? Jeez. Alright. Good to know. Loam with no targets. They must be setting up an Uro. Ooh, Savine's Wreck. I like that a lot. I'm actually going to Savine's Wreck first. So, what if they're a crop rotation deck? Is that possible? Alright, I'm going to start with Teferi. Teferi and plus. I'm going to try to dodge Punishing Fire and then draw a land. That's my plan. Dodge Punishing Fire dodge Prismatic Ending, draw a land, and win the game. This is Prismatic Ending. God, you've been dredging Loam the entire game. Where'd you find that? Loam picked up Wasteland. All right, yeah, they're just keeping me locked over there. Savine's Wreck, targeting Teferi. Let's go again. I didn't draw the land anyway, sucker. Right, just firing me on the way out, because they're not getting to do that. Okay. Do not have another Prismatic Ending. There's already 2 been used. They've been dredging Loam a lot. Still dredging Loam. Monastery Mentors in this deck. Holy shit. Having a good time. They can rebuy... They can put Teferi down to 1. If they have another fire, they actually get him dead. That would be annoying. I've only seen 1. Life from the Loam targeting nothing. Okay, they're passing the turn. A land wins the game. Land off the top. Come on, deck. You owe me this. You owe me this. You asshole. I hate you. I hate you, deck. I hate you so much. We're going to lose another Teferi with nothing to show for it. God, this sucks. I could just play another Teferi and play this turn cycle over again. Because they can P-Fire this one now. Yeah, I'm just going to cast a new one. Reset it to 5. And try this again. They found a second Punishing Fire and an Uro. Now they got to decide if they want to slam Uro into play or pressure Teferi, or maybe they can do a little bit of both. All right, yep, here's Uro. And they can deal 2 to Teferi with Punishing Fire still. Oh, wait. Yeah, they can deal 2. If they find another red source, they can do more. Okay, that's a red source. They can put Teferi to 1 loyalty here. Oh, wait, no, they have to pay 2 to get the 2 back, so they can still only deal 2 to Teferi. Dealing 2 is enough, though. It stops me from drawing the card. Deck. Again. Land. Land. Land, please. Oh, my God. Okay. At least I can exile Uro. I'm going to wait until their turn to do it, I guess. At least tap down the Caracas a little bit. Oh, what a tilt. Another Grove. Gonna light up Uro. They can bounce it with Caracas, but this is gonna waste a lot of time and mana resetting this. Yep, got it. I am up almost 4 minutes on the clock. We take those. Teferi's fired. Ah, this is so annoying. Alright, Teferi's all the way dead now. You did it. Animate Dead can pick up a creature in any graveyard, so I could just Uro real quick. Get Animate Dead into my graveyard. If I Uro, though, they get to get their Punishing Fires back, but they can do that anyway. Fuck you, deck. Fuck you. Stupid asshole. Here's the land that we've been waiting for. I guess I'll Narset real quick. Get another island. Narset. I'll activate her. They're going to have to waste more time on Punishing Fires now. Okay, there's a fire. Well, the power just flickered at my house. I'm still recording because I record on a laptop. I haven't bought a backup battery yet. Really hope the Wi-Fi comes back in time for me to play this game. I've done a really good job managing my clock. It would suck to lose like that. But I'm going to pause this recording and we'll be back when I have power. And we're back. I lost 4 minutes here. I'm now behind on the clock. Absolute misery. And I missed on Narset. Hell yeah. You love to see it. I think I need to Mishra's Bauble here. Just try to make anything happen. Another Uro on top of their deck. All right. If I can get my 5th land and Savine's Wreck again. All right, there's a 5th land. It's even basic. Let's try to do something here. Punishing Fire. Absolutely tearing me apart right now. Uro coming back from the grave. I'm going to be aggressively F6ing, trying to recoup my lost time here. Okay. There is one more plains in my deck. At least there better be. There is. Okay. Savine's Wreck. I'm going to target Narset first, which means that the Teferi one resolves first. Oh, is that not how that works? God damn it. Did it backwards for no reason. Apparently I don't know how this card works, and now they can Punishing Fire my Narset a bunch of times when I could have played around that. Oof. Yeah, I guess copying it is part of its resolution, right? Whoops. Yep. Threw that one away. But I've been doing a lot of that. That was a rules mistake, though. I'll take that over an actual throw it in the trash punt. Speaking of throw it in the trash punt, they just tapped their Caracas, so now I get to draw a card off Teferi, which I would not have been able to do otherwise. Alright, yeah, that's actually good. Still not really beating this Punishing Fire shit, but at least this Uro's out of play for another turn. Let's go. They're running out of cards in their deck and time on their clock, and I'm just chilling. I'm just F6'd over here. Punishing Fire, those are gone. Yeah, that was a big mistake. We've learned something about Samin's Reclamation today. If I can waste enough time against this Uro, though, they may genuinely run out of cards in their deck. And at some point, they're going to have to start eating their Punishing Fires. Another Narset. Going to leave up white. Activate her. Found Brainstorm and yet another Narset. I think I'd rather have Brainstorm at this point. And I'm not going to play a land into their Wasteland loops. Not going to give them that satisfaction. They picked up their fires. That cost a lot of time on the clock. It is kind of interesting here that I am both like, decking is a real live out here, depending on what win conditions are left in their deck. If they have like a Field of the Dead or something, I could just die quickly, but if they really are just trying to get it done with Uro, that's not good for them. They have 11 cards left in their deck. They're about to put 2 of them back, unless they start Endurancing themselves, but even then, they've exiled a lot of cards. Holding Tarn, is there still a target left? There is not. Mox Diamond, discarding Wasteland, okay. Wandering Emperor can exile this Uro next turn. There it is. Here's the trigger. We've seen a lot of blue mana, and only really Uro as blue cards. I don't know if they're playing... Oh, wow. I guess I should Brainstorm, see if I can find another white source. Found several. Put back Underground Sea and Displacer Kitten. I'm off it. I'm going to go to their turn. I'm going to Swords to Plowshares and Wandering Emperor. Kind of awkward spot here where they can Wasteland so aggressively that I have to fetch. Like, if they Wasteland a fetch, then Wasteland also the land I fetch. That's really effective. Wasteland, yeah, just snap off the Wasteland in response. You got me. Playing around days, I guess. Caracas, pick it back up. Sure. And we're just going to work through that Uro again. But now I have Monastery Mentor. I still think just decking them is my plan. Cool. Alright, 3 Uros in their graveyard. I can play this land. I could just summon Yorion also. Waste a bunch of time. I don't hate that. They have to spend 3 Punishing Fires on this thing. Do they have 3 Punishing Fires? I mean, I know they have 2, and they should be able to loop them. I can F6 right now because their Wasteland's tapped. Oh, they're just going face with the fires. Is that your win con now? Is that even viable? I don't know. Crazy. Alright, I'm gonna daze here if they cast the last one. Okay, no, they're just buying it back. Alright. It's a weird game. I think I'm winning it, though. Fair and square, not even time-related. Really wish I was up 7 minutes instead of 1, but they're doing the thing. Uro has to eat the other 2 Uros to come back into play here. And there he is all the same. Cephalid Coliseum. Nice. I love that tech. Caracas, my Yorion. Yeah, that's a thing you can do. Force of Will. Okay. I can fight over my Empress. They do get an Uro trigger. But then I'm gonna zap it. Wandering Emperor, let's go. I would be surprised if they can actually get enough cards in their graveyard to escape Uro again before they deck themselves. I'm gonna lose my Emperor here to Punishing Fire, but I think this game is over. Oh, no way. Forest Pitching Days. Yeah, that's a card I would lose to. Alright, firing my Empress on the way out. Alright, Mentor's countered. Cool. And we're back in here. To go to cleanup, probably dumping the Uro, dipping the front half. Guess what, though? You're not the only Monastery Mentor in town. This is going to eat a lot of clock. Mentor always does. I have to set my auto yields pretty aggressively right now. The days will save it from... Alright, well, Swords of Plowshares is just going to get me. Days was going to save it from the the Punishing Fire, but that's not what they have. All right, yep, that's fired. Force of Will. I do like Solitude. I'm gonna put the Force in my hand, Solitude on top. All right, yeah, we're gonna deck them. Still brainstorming with only 4 cards in the deck, just absolutely reckless. 29 cards in exile, even an Endurance isn't gonna save them. Got another answer for that. Mentor Tech is really smart. That's a good way to win a game where Uro's not gonna get it done. Have they even seen a Displacer Kitten, or are we just hanging out here? I don't think they know anything yet. And they've seen Bauble and Mentor can explain Bauble. Yeah, we're just F6ing back and forth right now. They seem to think that this is going to cost me more time than it's going to cost them, which is just wrong. It's Magic Online stuff here. Yeah, they have to go to clean up. They have to click through a loam dredge. I don't. Okay, I disconnected for 4.5, 5 minutes, and I'm still up 2 minutes at the end of the game that I actually won. Good shit. Okay, how do I beat this deck? I actually do want Force of Negations. I want Surgicals. Supreme Verdict sounds pretty important. If they get a Mentor going, which is the only way they can actually win the game in 7 minutes, and they have to do it twice. So I can settle in. I don't think I'm going to combo just because of clock considerations. It sucks that I have to play it like that, but desperate times, you know? If I board out Amber and Oracle, Force of Will is like fine, but it is worse than Force of Negation now that I know what's going on. Daze is pretty horrendous, but Daze does play with the Kitten if I'm on a fair Kitten plan. Night Clubber can catch up with a Monastery Mentor as well, especially if I'm doing Kitten stuff. So can Plague Engineer. Yeah, I have to play to just not die for 7 minutes. That's going to be my game plan here, unfortunately. I don't like making content like that, but my power went out. Sorry. I still think Daze is just bad. But it is a blue card, and I'm boarding 2 of those out. I like Solitude. Recruiter gets worse when I'm not doing the whole cat thing. It's kind of weird, because in paper, if there was 7 minutes left on the clock, I would be building to max out the combo, but it's the exact opposite on Magic Online. Crazy. Need some number 0 still in the deck. They have Plows. Animate Dead. Animate Deading Night Clubber is fucking sick, though. Okay, I'm gonna run it like this. I'm not sure it's great, but we just have to not lose 2 games in 7 minutes. By that argument, I should probably have just all 7 forces in. If there's a game 3, I'll change that. I'm gonna keep this hand. Narset is good against Sylvan Library. And now that I'm not comboing, like this is the 1 bauble left in my deck, I can just cycle it immediately. I'm gonna bauble them. They can fetch to hide the information, or they can draw Scalding Tarn. Swords of Plowshares is a good one. And I have the ending for a Sylvan Library, if that's what they're going for. Loam, okay, that's what they're going for. All right. Exposed to Wasteland. Do you have one? Nope. Cool. There's Scalding Tarn in hand, plus this one that they're looping. I'm not going to plow this Uro. Not what this game is about. I am going to brainstorm in the end step, which is not a play I normally advise, but when you're untapping into 3 planeswalkers, it's a lot better. If I put the plow and the Narset here, then I can draw Narset, or play her. They might have Red Blast in at this point, but that's okay. And I can at least pick up plow. Yep, interested. They have Life from the Loam. Their hand. Uh-oh. They're quickly slamming a 5th man into play. Am I getting Paradox Zoned? My own technology? Oh, Mentor. Yeah, that's a good one too. The library doesn't work with Narset in play. I have 2 answers to Mentor in my hand. I plow this right away. And I'm gonna Prismatic Ending. I'm actually gonna Recruiter of the Guard. No, I'm gonna Teferi. What am I talking about? Teferi can kill a token very cleanly. And I'm not going to activate Narset because I don't want to lose her to a Punishing Fire before the Sylvan Library fails to activate. Okay, they dredged Loam with one of them and drew a card. Here's Uro. Yeah, because of their clock, they have to play pretty bad. So maybe the Narset's just shutting them down anyway. I don't know. It's hard to predict what's actually going on over there, given all the weird circumstances. I found a Pyroblast, but I have Swords to Plowshares, another Narset, plus Teferi, and put Force of Negation in my hand, and pass the turn. I don't have a blue card to go with Force, but they don't. Okay, no respect for Force of Negation. It's okay, I didn't have it. Yorion can be a blue card here, or I can tutor for one with Wreck, or I can just draw another Narset, all good stuff. Okay, 1, 2, 3, tutor with Recruiter, Retutor of the Duder. I'm gonna grab a Displacer Kitten for funsies. Let them know that they're on notice. And I'm gonna start buffing out my lands here. This deck can't play Price of Progress. I'm not gonna play around that. Pop Yorion in the hand, mostly as a blue card for Force. They probably should try to kill Narset here. Looks like they're going for it. I'm gonna Force a Negation this. Pitching Yorion. Kitten's probably worse than Yorion here. But we're all playing fast and loose. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. No, I should Teferi first. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. Okay. I get to reset Narset at least. I'm gonna fetch, get Underground Sea. 1, 3, 4. Kitten, Savine's Wreck, target Teferi. Flicker Narset, and attack. Look at my top 4 cards, get an extra Teferi. Plus. I have to make sure they don't just cornball F6 me. Like, if they just stop playing the game and start F6ing, that's bad. They tucked my Bauble back into my deck, where I can now suddenly use it as a win condition. Fairy, get rid of Endurance. Narset, do something. Find Swords to Plowshares, looks good. Baleful Strix, blue-black. Preordain. Reset. Narset. Top. Activate Narset. I might not even have to cheese here. Might just be able to attack and win the game. Probably not. I don't even know if I activated Teferi. Not sure if it matters. Endurance is back. Yep. Don't care. Wasteland, that's a good card. End step, I'm gonna Plow, Endurance, and Flicker. Recruiter, getting Mentor. Yeah, I'm gonna actually try to win this game. 5 minutes is plenty of time to win with Mentor. Double Force backup. Let's go. Mentor. Activate Narset. Narset found Brainstorm. Alright, cool. They're conceding. That was more stressful than it needed to be, for reasons outside of anyone's control, but we pretty handily won that match. On to the final round. I'm on the draw for the final round. I believe that's 0 for 5 on die rolls. Check the tape. Complaint equity, banked. I'm going to keep my hand. Opponent's on 6. Scalding Tarn. I was about to comment on how many of my opponents have had sweet, like, alternate frame foil printings of cards, but we are in a open bank, or whatever it's called, mythic token time right now. God, I'm not sure I can beat this. The mythic token is like a god account that you can get on Magic Online. They run it from time to time. Yeah, definitely not beating a counterbalance with my deck that relies on firing off a 0-drop over and over again to win the game. If I had Teferi in my hand, I might have risked it, but I didn't at the time. I didn't know. I'm going to stuff a Recruiter into play and see what happens with that. And I'll probably just get Cat, because I have the whole shit lined up here. Displacer Kitten in the grip. That does telegraph what I'm up to, but they may or may not be able to do anything about it. Gotta watch out for Wandering Emperor here. Alright, I'm just playing Cat. And the Teferi would test it better, but like the Cat, I can cash out value immediately if they don't counter it. If they try to play removal. Alright, that was smart. That was the way to do that. Okay, now I'm in some trouble. Having multiple spells here, kind of annoying. I can use my Bauble though, because I have multiple zeros. I have the amber. All right. Loud. They had 2 plows. They are down to 2 cards in hand, though. And let me look at the top card. You're drawing Thwart. Oh my god. What is going on over there? Thwart. Counter target spell. Return 3 islands you control to their owner's hand rather than pay its mana cost. I mean, that's certainly a thing you can do. You have 3 islands. My god. Wild out here in these streets. They also have 4 mana, so that card's actually just good. I'm gonna grab this Yorion while I'm not doing anything else. Yeah, apparently I should have led on Teferi. They had a double plow but no counterspell hand. Now they have a counterspell. Would I rather have Narset or Teferi in play? Do I have to act at all? No, I have 7 cards in my hand. I'm not moving to discard. I can just pass. Mystic Sanctuary, buying back. Probably Predict. Yep, they found the Predict again. And, alright, Wandering Emperor is something I'm interested in. I'm going to play this Mox Amber. Getting into play. I'm going to start challenging their counterspells in the end step. Brainstorm. I don't really want them to be able to predict in response, but if they thwart, okay, if they thwart in response, then they have like millions of islands to replay. Yeah, I think I'll respond to predict, but then they still have their land drop. I don't know. This Wandering Emperor is getting countered no matter what. I just gotta start testing them somehow. Do not shuffle. All right, end step, Wandering Emperor. They're gonna have to do something about this. They're predicting themselves in response. They know their top card. They're going to have 4 cards in hand now. They did just tap out of Hardcast Thwart, so they're going to have to bounce 3 lands if they're going to go for that. All right, been thwarted. Okay, what's left over in that grip? I'm going to lead on Teferi, because Teferi turns on Amber, which lets me safely deploy Narset, if any of this works at all, which I have no guarantee of. They're up to 6 cards in hand. All right, nice. I'm going to float a blue, bounce Amber, play Amber, blue, Narset, and I have Force of Negation into Teferi. All right, I'm feeling like we're punching through here. Another Force of Negation and another Teferi. Yeah, I'm just going to load up on interaction. If your deck has Thwart in it, I'm feeling like Thwart and Predict versus Teferi and Narset. Rough beats. I'm going to let them have that, which might be a mistake. But I'm going to let my Planeswalkers just cook here. Plus Teferi. Do I even want to minus Narset? Probably not. My hand already has 7 cards in it. I could just cast Yorion. I'm going to cast Yorion. Float into 5. It's possible. They know about the Yorion. They've done some card selection here. Was there a Force in their graveyard? No. Prismatic Ending on top. Yorion, Flicker, Mox Amber. Do I want to Flicker Teferi? That gives them a second to cast spells, but it also ups the loyalty. Alright, yeah, I'll give you a chance to cast some spells. Reset my Teferi. I think it's worth it. I know their top card's a 1, so I'm not going to cast my Ponder. I know their top card's a 1, so maybe I should Prismatic Ending right now. Yeah, that sounds like the right play. White. Yeah, this CMC is 2 on the stack. 1 in my hand, 2 on the stack. Clear that card out. Draw a Prismatic Ending of your own. Now I don't have to worry about counterbalance. You know, I have Force and Negation in hand. You don't know that I have 2. Targeting Teferi. I'm going to Force pitching Ponder. I want to keep the other Force for next turn. I can hardcast it. And they've had enough. Nice. Okay. Wandering Emperor testing the thwart, and then we untap and beat him. Okay. They seem to be a pretty big Mystic Sanctuary deck. Maybe Unlicensed Hearse is something I want. Dispute seems like it's going to be good. The games might go long, but disputing a counter balance seems like a big deal. Flusterstorm, Dress Down, Flux. No. Hearse is a maybe. They don't seem to have a lot of targets for Swords to Plowshares. This is where they juke me and just kill me with Mentor, but if the plows come out, I get Mystical Dispute. Engineered Explosives is a card that I can do weird things with the mana value on to fight a counterbalance if they are heavy on that theme. I could also just play Surgicals and mess up their Mystical sanctuaries. I feel like I do want Force of Negation. I do want Unlicensed Hearse, and I do want Engineered Explosives. And I want to play it like this. It's a weird deck, kind of a weird plan, but this makes sense to me. I don't have any like Shark Typhoons or Vendilion Clicks, or Brazen Borrowers, which are all cards that I'd really like in this matchup. I think this hand's fine. I get some selection. I'm going to target myself with Bauble. I barely care what's in their hand. They get a Ponder. What I mean by I barely care what's in their hand is, in a long, slow, grindy, ponderous control matchup like this, there are things that they can reasonably have at any point and things that they won't. And knowing one additional card isn't going to change much of that. You're going to play around the same things regardless. Mox Amber on top. I don't want that yet. I'm going to fetch. I'm going to get a Underground Sea. I already have a Tundra in my hand, and I'm going to Ponder now. Shuffle away all these lands. Don't want 3 lands here. Shuffle them up through Teferi. That's much better. They're going to have Red Blasts after board. That's not a card I can play. Just Tundra go from the opponent. I can Brainstorm. I like that. I got fetch lands. I got some extra lands I can get rid of. They can't like Hull Breacher yet. There's a Kitten, a Daze. All right, maybe I do like the 4th land now that I've Kitten. Prismatic Ending and Prismatic Vista on top of the deck is where I want to go. And I'll just play Tundra. Or Kitten, Vista on top of the deck. Or the other way around. Vista, Kitten. Yeah, and I'll play Tundra right now. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. I might just end up cheese mentoring. Yeah, I'm not going to counter a blind... or it's not a blind predict. They do know this last card. I'm still not countering predict. Not when I'm threatening to turn around and slam mentor with double protection. Ponder in the exile zone. They do have a spell here. Or a land. We knew about the spell. Alright, so I may have stacked this wrong, but I'm going to jam Teferi when Daze is a hard counter right now. Yeah, I'm just going to slam Teferi. It will at least resolve here. Then we can start working towards a cat. I think this is better than Mentor. Force of Negation. How about Daze? The days of our lives. The biggest blowout in Control Mirrors is when one person randomly has fucking Daze in their deck. Okay. That sets me back a land, but it is a 2-for-1, and I have a extremely potent Planeswalker in play. And I drew a replacement copy, which is perfect, because if they Prismatic Ending me here, I can turn around and just jam the new one. Yeah, that's fine. I have to take a turn off to play this land anyway. Everything's coming up Millhouse right now. They could have Red Blast right now. That would be kind of a non-Millhouse play. But we're in there. I'm going to draw a card again. If they kill Teferi, it's going to be with Ending or Pyroblast. It's not going to be with Lightning Bolt. And if they had Pyroblast, they would have just countered it. Mystic Sanctuary, are we going to rebuy Prismatic Ending? How desperate are we? Oh, wow, they are. Okay. I'm in. Now we're in kind of a tough spot. I think I do want to force the Ending and just give myself a chance to draw a 0. But I have to force pitching Ponder, which is the best non-kitten card in my hand. Like, if I end up losing the exchange and then don't draw a 0, Ponder is the card I most want in my hand when the dust settles. But I'm playing to the combo. We're up a game in round 5, playing for 4 and 1. I'm going for it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's fine. A second Mystic Sanctuary, that's cool. All right, there's a 2-drop on top of their deck. We know that now. And they're going to go for the Prismatic Ending. I'm going to force it, knowing that it's good. Right, yeah, and they have a 2 on top of their deck in Expressive Iteration. I know my Kitten's going to resolve. If I draw a 0... Okay. Yeah, 0 wouldn't have won, because they would have eventually hit the Oracle with their 2 on top. That's not even true, though, because I guess I just bounce Counterbalance at the end of the loop. Okay, I can stick Mentor and know it's good. I can stick Kitten and know it's good. I can remove Counterbalance and know it's good. I have a lot of power here. I think I want to just remove Counterbalance. Blue, white, blue. I can pay 3 for this. X is still 2. Oh, yeah, X is 2, and Converge is 2. Everything's 2. They're drawing EI, though. Pretty powerful. But I still have this Teferi around. I'm worried about Pyroblast at this point. Found Flooded Strand. And another EI. Alright, they're digging hard. Flooded Strand was the exile off the first one. Their deck feels like kind of a throwback to a simpler time before War of the Spark, when Planeswalkers just shut down entire decks like this. I mean, they have expressive iteration, so they've clearly made updates, but this does feel like a deck from like the Top Miracles era. It feels like Top Miracles, and I guess that's kind of what they're trying to do with the counterbalances. If they cast a Ponder, they did not shuffle. Come on, 0-drop. Right, Force of Will, fucks. Plus Teferi. I can play Mentor and just start punching, or I can put Yorion in my hand and hold up a Force. I think I like that. I mean, I like punching with Mentor, but I also am just so close to this cat combo. I can taste it. I want it. Feed it to me. They have a third Mystic Sanctuary. This is awesome. Yeah, this makes sense given that they showed me Thwart in game 1, that they would have so many islands in their deck. They just picked up the Prismatic Ending again. They're going to Brainstorm into it. I'm going to counter it again. I feel like Mentor would have won this game like 100 years ago if I had actually cast it, but I am married to the meme here. That I'm not even convinced is a meme, or if it's just good. Oh, do we have double ending? Oh, Narset. Yeah, that's a good card too. Okay. All right, we're both in the shit here. Under the oppressive boot of a Planeswalker. No, they found Pyroblast. That sucks. And Teferi can't even cash out a card on the way through. Oh, wow. What does this do? Seems like nothing. They don't have any creatures. Yeah, it's just not even castable. I can play Mentor, but I do only have the one, and now I'm a little worried. But Mentor is my best way to put pressure on Narset, so that's what I'm doing. See if they left any plows in their deck. Brainstorm, Counterbalance. They're starting to put the hooks in here, and I don't like it. Shit, they found another Prismatic Ending, and they have Pyroblast for Teferi. All right, well, I'm back to empty and facing down an Narset. This is what I was talking about with if the Teferi plan doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to play the cat. I don't think they would have floated a 4 for Counterbalance. Nope, it's a 0. I'm going to get Strix into play. I know it doesn't draw a card, but it does threaten Narset. Yeah, I'm just on mono, Underground Seas, and Tundras here. Brainstorming in response. See if they have a 2, see if they found a 2. Deck has a lot of 2s in it, I'd be surprised. Oh, wow. Alright, they might just have, like, Terminus or Entreat the Angels instead. Some shit that cleans this up. 2 cards in hand. We don't know anything anymore. Force of Will is present. Well, I'm going to attack Narset. If Narset dies here, and Force can start blinking Strix, we're going to grind back in. Nice. Okay. Okay. Give it to me. Is there a 4th Mystic Sanctuary? There's not. Unfortunate. I would have been so obsessed with this deck if it had 4 Mystic Sanctuaries in it. Brainstorm can resolve. I'm going to wait for a removal spell. Aggressive Iteration. I mean, like, this shit is a little scary, but their deck has a lot of air. Like, they draw a lot of cards, and then we end up countering the thing that they find at the end of the chain. Exiled a Tundra. Land drop's been hit. You got it. Which was Bobble. That's fun. I'm going to attack first. All right. I don't have an answer to my creatures. I'm going to cast Bobble, which draws a card with Strix, whether it resolves or not. Did not resolve. They have Tundra on top of their deck. Pretty sure that was a random reveal, but lands are one of the most represented card types. Not mad about it. Strix is still in play. Still no creatures to animate dead. They couldn't do anything last turn, and we know they just drew Tundra. And then they played Flooded Strand as their land for turn, so we're just poking for 3s here. Gonna tempo them out with my counter spells and cat value. Every spell I cast just draws a card because I have Strix. The things we lose to now are like Entreat the Angels with the correct spell on top or mana cost on top to protect it. Attack. Keep it going. I'm gonna play Recruiter. Even if it gets countered, it gives me something to animate dead. Jace on top of their deck, geez. Good to know. Not sure if that matters, but it's good to know. Oh, Alright, I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit here. I'm gonna Force of Negation the Pyroblast, but flicker Strix. I could flicker Kitten, just guarantee that it stays in play, but I'm going for the double here. And they can try to shuffle away their Jace and spike a different answer. And I get the Kitten flicker, even if they counter back. I get the flicker. They're thwarting my force. And then I get the flicker. If it draws a blue card, I can still force again. Blue card, blue card. Oh my god. Force your Pyroblast, flicker Strix again. This is awesome. I'm having so much fun right now. Alright, they hardcast a force. My Kitten's gonna die, but that was so sick. I'll just tutor up another one. I don't care. And I have Animate Dead in my hand. We're going crazy here. Going crazy. Alright, yeah, just grab another Kitten. Play my land. I know their top card is a 4 right now. I could just Animate Dead Kitten immediately. They have a lot of untapped mana, though. I might be able to double up on this. And if they try to get clever and float a 4 on top, I'll just trick them and put Animate Dead on the stack. Oh, they did just thwart all of their Mystic Sanctuaries back up, though. That fucking rules. Good for you. Big fan. I am behind on clock by a minute. If this game starts slipping away, I'm going to have to really pay attention to that. Dramatic Ending on top of their deck. Interesting. Probably going to see a Jace activation here. Yep, brainstorming with Jace. Ending my Recruiter. Okay, there's the ending. Pyroblast would clear this all out. And they probably just put a bunch of Mystic Sanctuaries back in the deck with the Brainstorm. This is awesome. I love their engine. Thwart is on top of their deck. Okay, they did float a 4-drop. Let's draw a spell to punish that. Animate Dead, baby! Shit. Alright, Thwart's on top of the deck. That sucks. Animate Dead. Putting Kitten into play is still pretty sick, though. I'm going to attack their face. They're at 5. They don't get a whole lot of these. Animate Dead, targeting Cat. Wish I drew a fucking spell right now, but we're still doing it. You have a 4 on top. I'm going to dance around it. Animate. Get 10. Right, they did just float a counter spell into their hand when they are on a 2-turn clock on board. I feel like a Mystic Sanctuary would be good in this deck. I frequently just have millions of islands in play and need to draw a spell. That's probably an innovation we want. I think early versions had it, and then we just sort of got off it. Animate Dead, gone. Any instant there would have been insane. Okay, they're completely stable, and they can float their Thwart on top, or just leave their Thwart in their hand. Okay, let's hope they floated Thwart on top. Floated red and then thwarted me. Alright, I'm just going to pass. Their engine is completely online. I want to see a win condition, and it's also going to take them a long time to win, no matter what they do here. This is where we earn our clock back and learn if they have Mentor, learn if they have Entreat, see what we're dealing with. They just put Thwart back on top with Mystic Sanctuary again. I'm just going to pass and load up my hand with spells. Now we get to play the Fate Seal game. I have 1 fetch land. They left a card on top. If my opponent has a fetch land, I almost always leave a card on top. See if they're going to shuffle. Alright. Now I have 2 fetch lands. They just bought back Force of Negation. They're going to hide behind this Jace and win the game that way. And Ponder. Okay. Let's have a peek. Let's test this counterbalance. Jace is on top. Recruiter of the Guard. I don't hate. I know they have Thwart over there. Force of Negation doesn't get this, though. That's a big deal. Casting her. They floated mana and then bounced with Thwart. That's powerful. And I'm not going to let them Force of Negation here, and they're floating a 4 for the cat. I know I'm drawing a cantrip. Let's see what they put on top. They're putting Thwart on top. This rules. I love this play pattern. I love everything that's happening right now, except that I'm losing. All right, Ponder, let it rip. Narset, we know that's good. I'm going to take Brainstorm, see if they want to fight over that. I would like to fix this hand, not just drawing for turn every turn. Put back a kitten and, or yeah, the 2 lands. I was like, the kitten and, no, I don't need the kitten. Good on that. Okay. Prismatic Ending on Counterbalance. I'm going to start there, see if I can flush out the Force of Negation. Force of Will also. Bummer. Alright, Narset, I'm still casting you. Still a 4-drop on top. I know they have Force of Negation in hand. Gotta imagine there's some blue cards to cast, or pitch, or just Pyroblast. Yep. Okay. Alright, they did not bounce with, or bottom with Jace, so I will be using my shuffle. Yeah, this engine is just complete. Pyroblast is on top. At least I get a chance to put this on the stack, knowing their top card's not a 4. Just make them fight over it. They finally pitched a Force, pitching their other Jace. I gotta catch up on time here. It's gonna F6 for the rest of the game now. I know there's Pyroblast in hand. And thwart. Jace is ultimate. I tried to hit concede before. I thought we had another turn on Jace. I tried to hit concede before they saw my whole deck, but... Alright. And I finished behind on time. Awkward. Combo's bad here. They're gonna win with Jaces. Okay. I think I really like Unlicensed Hearse now that I've seen what they're doing. I might like Surgical Extraction a lot too, now that I've seen that like that's kind of their whole thing. Still like explosive, still like ending. Still like being able to combo. The Animate Dead was a nice little surprise. I like that. Sabine's Wreck, probably good in this matchup. Uh-oh, I'm out of cards I want to cut. Do I just submit 82 like a boss? Nah, it's Daze. Get Daze out of here. Let's go. They saw Daze that game, if they remember it, for how long the game went. I'm going to mulligan this. Keep this. Then the Mox Amber. So, sticking Mentor and then jamming a pair of 2s is pretty exciting. Or a pair of 0s. No, it's Mox Amber. Stop it, Brian. You're being bad. Okay. And I am going to sandbag this Bobble, try to have a big Mentor turn. Ponder's nice. I'd love to find, like, Force Blue card here. Not mad about Narset, though. I am going to shuffle away those lands. I don't want those. Fetch a little Tundra. Hopefully they hold up Pyroblast this turn. I'm in under Thwart. They can't Force of Negation. They would need Force of Will, exactly, to answer this Mentor. Fetching now to save time. Baleful Strix. I'm here to slam Mentor. They have to have exactly Force of Will. Didn't have it. Get a trigger right away. Good stuff. Monk. One Monk might do the dirty. They're drawing Brainstorm. All right. Surgical Extraction. Yeah, I'm going to save that. I don't need to get rid of their Brainstorms. Or shuffle away their Brainstorm by getting rid of Ponder. That's not how I'm doing this. The Surgical is dope, though, because I can get another Monk, even if, like, nothing else really happens here. Going after Ponder would have worked. Who knew? I'm not just going to spew off a Surgical like that. Wow. Okay. That's big. I could check their hand with Teferi, or with Surgical, and then jam Teferi or Narset, see what their counterspell situation looks like. That also pushes for damage. I don't hate that. I'm going to exile their Brainstorms. Let's do it. Get aggressive here. Probably not a play I'd make at the Pro Tour, but I'm trying it. Flusterstorm. Okay. That is fine. That wasn't even really the point of the exercise. And I'm gonna Narset, not Teferi. And I'm doing this pre-combat because that gets me extra damage. Force of Negation, pitching Narset, deal. Now I attack for 7. Here we go. Smash. Okay, even if they Prismatic Ending Mentor now, I have 3 Prowess creatures. Sanctuary, Pickup, Ending, okay. Get to slam Teferi here. And attack for at least 6. Maybe more if Teferi draws a cantrip. My minus on nothing, draw a card. Tricks, alright. Attack you for 6. I could have Prismatic Ending to Teferi to put another 3, but it's not lethal yet, so I just want to hold back on spells. Okay. Oh yeah, Mentor's been a million for 1 already. They're at 0 cards in hand, at 5 life. Okay. I should probably start with trying to fight the counterbalance. Just have to pick a number. I think I'm going to go with 3. We've seen a lot of 4s and a lot of 2s. All right, don't you have a 3 on top? Force Negation and Narset. All right, they have Brainstorm on top. Oh no, that was revealed from earlier. Ah, we got around the 2. Didn't play the Strix. You can't fool me. I grab Tundra and cast the Strix now that there's no counterbalance to counter it. A card. I don't really like Expressive Iteration being the top card of their deck, but they are at 3. And I have creatures in play and more creatures come in, and they have nothing. They're gonna Mystic Sanctuary, a Prismatic Ending to the top, and then EI, that Prismatic Ending, use at least one of their EI selection spells to remove the Monk. Okay, 1 card left, it's Ponder, that's pretty good, but they're running out of gas here. They did not shuffle. Plus Teferi. Guess I should have fetched another black source. I have a lot of white already, and last turn I had the option. Alright, never punished. Get another Underground Sea. Black, blue. Another Strix. Very nice. They said GG's in the chat. That must mean they don't have answer to 3 creatures. Oh, EI, here we go. And they scooped it up. 4 and 1 with Displacer Kitten. Let's find this deck again. I'm not on my deck screen because Moto died. Here she is. All right. Esper Displacer Kitten. We only comboed off once, but we were threatening a combo kind of regularly. And Kitten, just like skipping along with Narset or Teferi, is a pattern that I didn't fully, like I knew it could do that, but seeing it in play of just like Narset for a spell, Kitten, cast that spell, flicker Narset, Narset for another spell, cast that spell, flicker Narset. And the same thing with Teferi, just skipping through your deck like that. Wow, that was fucked. The game we got Yorion looping with Animate Dead, that was a lot of fun. And we just had some classic Baleful Strix Monastery Mentor, scrappy Pokia for 1 at a time sort of control game as well. This list was dope. I think it wants a Mystic Sanctuary. The games did go long enough, and you're frequently just like, come on, a spell. That does make the fetch lands a little awkward, because 5 of our 13 fetch lands don't fetch Mystic Sanctuary. I think that's probably okay overall, though. Yeah, I'd add a Mystic Sanctuary to this, and the sideboard you can season to taste, but it felt good. Nightclubber. Wow, Nightclubber. Only showed up once, but it was a complete monster when it did. Yeah, this felt great. Felt like a well-polished, smartly designed Pokemoki deck. That's what I expect when he sends me something. Really, the Mystic Sanctuary is the only thing I would suggest. Daze had heroic moments, but also terrible moments, but it pitches to your 6 forces, even when it's not a hero, so it's probably worth the slot. I like that there's only 2 and not 4. That's good deck building. Recognizing what the deck is actually trying to do and what Daze's role is in it. Yeah, that's respectable. I wonder if it would be better as just like Flusterstorm or Spell Pierce, though, like something that plays a little more generally, but is also still an efficient piece of interaction when you're trying to protect your cat. TBD on this one. Maybe it just wants to be 2 more preordains and get off Daze because it might be too cute, but we were frequently waiting for more spells or looking for more action or trying to hit a land drop. Might just want 2 more cantrips in those slots. Definitely want Mystic Sanctuary. Might want to do something else with Daze. Season your sideboard for your metagame, but it looks pretty good in the Magic Online metagame right now as is. And awesome deck. Pokemoki, thank you for sharing it. Everybody, thanks for watching. This has been a genuine delight. And if you liked this deck, come back soon. I have another Jeskai version in the queue from another Patreon subscriber. That's going to be out in a couple days here on the channel. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell so you know it hit. And I'll see you for the next one.